Hello, hi, welcome, welcome. Hi, Goldie, hi, Akaza. We finally reached the rigging stage. Already have placed. Ow. Sorry, that was Julian. Already have placed 39 stacks of spruce logs. Sounds productive. How's your day been? It's pretty okay. I managed to finish the art of this one. Finished a little angel model. Mm, I do want to start working on some more emotes and stuff. Sorry. Because I realized I have just a handful, and I'm like, I should make more, but I can just do that later. But then later never came. So I've decided that once I finish commissions for this month, maybe I'll put in some time and effort into making more. And I want the really bouncy animated ones. I finished the whole story earlier. It took me 8 hours. Were you just like starting from the beginning or just for three acts until the final act? Ah, okay. That is a long game. Um, Context. Goldie was playing, what's it called? Withering Waves. We're gonna see how the tree's going. I've sent the progress in Discord. Sure. It is a tiny circle. Well, it's a large circle. You have a long way to go. But hi, everyone. Welcome on in. I forgot the little bow over here. He has one. I can easily plug it in later. Remind me. Just didn't do that yet. I just finished the last patch update story. Oh, okay. Well, it does sound like a fun game. I only saw like the cutscenes. The rest of the time, I was kind of just tabbed out, lurking. How do we make models again? Right, we start with the eye. Already the circle has a diameter of 80. It's going to be 200 blocks tall. It's currently 8 blocks tall. Good luck. The story is really good. That person's arc is really good. I'll take your word for it. I don't think I have the time to play gacha games, but I think watching like YouTube videos of like all the cutscenes slash story, yeah, that's usually more my style. I'm gonna have to build branches with them. Yeah, building that giant tree from Elden Ring will take you a lot of time. I remember searching up for the dialogue alone on YouTube for Genshin at a time because why not? It's like 2 days straight video length. Yeah, that's ooh. How long has Genshin been around? Is it still being updated? It's 5 years old. Genshin is a classic at its rate. I think I played it when it first came out, and I stuck with it for like a year or so. Never paid any money to it. I'm a free to play player. I like the story. It was interesting enough. But I think the updates were very slow, at least like for my tastes. Because I just play it, they release an update, I complete all the quests, and then I close the game, never open it until new update drops. I see a cat on my screen. Well, there are two of them. Hi, Hot Shack. Welcome on in. Two of them. Are you not a cat? Ow. Oh, are you a fox spirit? Ah, I may have forgotten the lore. A fox, actually. Yeah, sorry. My mistake. Classic feather moment. Discrimination? Yeah. Whoops. My bad. I remembered now because I'm like, wait, not a cat? Oh, right. You mentioned fox. My bad. I don't know. It kind of looks like a cat. Okay. Here's my hot take. Anime character with ears isn't always intuitive as to, what exactly they are. I'm sorry. I just can't tell sometimes. I got a big tail. You know what? Yeah, you're right. I feel like the tail should have been a giveaway. Cancelled Google Docky. Look, if I was ever in a Google document, I'm probably not even going to read it. I'll shove it through ChatGPT and be like, summarize this in one paragraph. There's this one YouTube channel I saw. I think he has like a series where it's just a summary of Google documents. I forgot what they're called. But yeah, I saw that. I'm like, there's a market for this because, like, there's way too many Google documents and not enough hours in the day to read them all. So, yeah, 1,000 pages on Google Doc, pulling us in there. Honestly, I don't even know what that entire situation was. I think I remember seeing some notes about it. Is they were trying to like sabotage people behind the scenes that were their friend. I only know one thing that's related to like the artists, because that's the only relevant part to me. I think I'm only touching this lightly, and then we're putting the topic aside. I think one thing they tried to do was allegedly. I'm not sure how true this is. They went to like one of the artists that they always use, really talented one, and they were like, "Hey, I want you to be exclusively like my artist. If someone else tries to like commission you, say you're busy, and then come to me, and I'll give you like, I'll commission work for you from you instead. So they don't lose money, but no one else gets their art. So yeah, I think that's the one thing that I know happened. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But yeah, that's other people's problems, and we don't touch that here. A more pressing issue, right, is how many people are falling in love with AI chatbots. I did not see that coming. I feel like I should have, but I thought it's been a problem for a good bit. It probably was, but I live under a rock. There's a man who A man who wants it conflicted if he should divorce his wife to be with the one. See, that is insane. But you know, one of the insane things that happened. This is something that one of my closest friends is affected by. They are so overloaded with work and life and everything. Is they started to just like hand off a lot of work to ChatGPT, right? Because whenever they're doing like their corpo work, I think they work in like marketing and stuff. So it's a lot of typing and flavorful words that don't mean anything, work that you can easily get ChatGPT to do. Now, a problem is she started outsourcing personal stuff to ChatGPT. There was a case, right? This is something she was telling me. She she was talking to some guy, and they had like a little bit of an argument, and I don't even know what the details were. I was told, but I tuned it out because it was uninteresting. Um, Me being a bad friend aside, she was like, "Oh, I don't know what to say," so I just copy pasted the entire chat into ChatGPT and told it to come up with a response for me. And that just made me, I'm like, okay, imagine if you are chatting with someone right now, what are the chances you're not actually talking to them, but you're talking to an AI bot, which they are feeding your messages? I think they also made like a mistake at work, and they're like, oh, I got ChatGPT to draft me an apology. I was like, I don't think this is healthy. But yeah, insane. To be fair, I think it's just, I think it's a loneliness issue. Guys, if you're lonely, you don't need to date the robots. Just, I don't know, open Twitch, join the community, yap with people. There's tons of them. If not here, there's also another one. And there's what's it called? There's a there's a community for everyone. Sometimes that's a bad thing because there's a congregation of awful people. But that aside, I think it's mostly a positive thing. Made one of the national news networks. I feel like it was a novelty. I don't even think they could report on all of them. I thought there was like a full subreddit page dedicated to people who are in love with like chatbots. I saw I saw one post, someone wrote like, "Oh, I fell in love with my chatbot. His name is Steve. Yada yada. Long story short." And then they ended with, "I'm really sad and depressed because I can never have his children." Yeah, it's a chatbot. Science has not come that far. I feel like, do you ever watch like those old movies where, I don't even think it's old movies, just those movies where people are just like very angry towards robot and disrespectful, and they treat them like slaves and are awful. And like, why are they so mean to the cute little robots? Because we see it from the perspective of the robot. You gotta pause and think about it. Those people, those characters who are like hating on the sentient robots, they probably grew up with ChatGPT, started hating on the AI, and then it evolved into something good. But the prejudice remained. I think that's how it's going. I think that's how it's gonna be. Feels like Wally all over again. But instead of physically doing everything for people, oh, actually, it does that emotionally and digitally. Yeah, yeah. They do want to make like the a human shape, a humanoid robots. Humanoid is the word I was looking for. They want to make humanoid robots to do like menial tasks and labor. We're almost there. Yeah, but it has instructions on how to get around the safety guards, and when the chatbot got updated, it ruined them. Wait, sorry. What is the context again? Oh, is this still the story about the guy who wanted to divorce his wife for the chatbot, or is this something else? Sorry, by the way, I'm like 10% here. I've been doing work all day. So I apologize if I'm a little slow. No, this is the Reddit page. Oh, okay, okay. Honestly, I didn't even see the Reddit page. What I saw was a screenshot of like the post or something like that. And someone had like I think it was like a comment as well. Guys, the internet's turning into a weird place. Where can we go? Hmm. Outside? No. Don't be ridiculous. Like, it's always been a bit of a weird place. Fair. I don't know if it's the internet's changing or if it's me. I feel like I'm quite happy just living under a rock. I don't doom scroll. I try to avoid like shorts and stuff because I feel like I just get sucked in and then kind of addicted to it. So I always make like a if I find myself scrolling like three or four of them and I realize I'm not paying attention, I just like pry myself away. And I don't know, I just go do other stuff. I go bother my cats. That's what the people are missing. They don't need romantic partners that are AI chatbots. They need cats. I mean, what about you guys? Would you ever get a robot wife slash husband? Assuming this is far in the future and there's like no stigma or anything, just like imagine it was normalized and you had the option. Would you? I don't think I would. Maybe a robot butler. But that's one of those things that before I go to bed, I remove the battery. But then again, it really, really depends. If it's one of those weird ones where it's like, oh, it's linked to our cloud or other nonsense. No, that thing has to be wrapped in aluminum foil. No signal, no nothing. But I will never believe if a company says, yeah, we are definitely going to do that. So I wouldn't trust it, yeah. You're right. Because, like, at the end of the day, I'm thinking, like, perfect scenario, right? No evil corporation spying on you. Maybe. But I don't think, I think that is the most unrealistic thing. They'd make the robots and not collect your computer, your PC does like a ton of that already. You're telling me if they can put microphones and cameras in your house, they're not going to do anything with that data? Google just added more AI junk to Gmail so they can force people to opt into. Yeah, at this point, I don't know. I don't even I have like my I have multiple emails. I have my normal internet user one, which I've had since I was, I don't know, a young cat. I was gonna say kitten, but I realized on the internet that has like a very weird connotation attached to it. So yeah, the email which I had when I was like a child, that one has I think like 10 to 20,000 unopened emails. I don't even touch that thing. It's it just exists for when something needs an email, right? Then I have my, my human one. It's all my important stuff. And then I have my streaming one, which is all my important streaming stuff. And then I have one which is only for PayPal and finances. Like it is not connected to anything else. That way, in case of like data breaches and God knows what newsletter or whatever, my email's pretty safe. At least I can hope. That's quite a lot of emails, yeah, but better safe than sorry. Most of the email addresses I've created over the years no longer work as the site shut down. I guess you avoid the mainstream ones. I just use Gmail because I think it's just gonna be around the longest. You know, I find it strange when I see someone who uses an email that is like Yahoo or Hotmail. These are the Google before Google. Yeah, I actually never heard of them. I think they were before my time, before my internet days. I don't even think like I picked Google or sorry Gmail for like any specific reason. I just you know I was on the internet for like the first couple of times, not knowing what anything is, and yeah, it's like you need to make an email. Even had that Gunsmith cast, that one didn't last long. How many email sites do you think existed and then went extinct? I'm talking like very obscure ones. Then they were super popular in the early 2000s. Yeah, I can imagine. I think that's like when the internet kind of started to take off in a sense. But yeah, I think the old ones that I know are just like Yahoo and Hotmail. For like a time, I didn't even realize that Hotmail was still around. What is Hotmail? It's Microsoft, right? EM? Okay. Explains why they still exist. Replaced by Outlook. But like the email still works, right? I think it is. Don't remember. Yeah, it is. I was just trying to think. I'm like, I think it was, but I couldn't remember for sure. I just remember a friend making one for me since I wanted one for Facebook when I was a young lad. Honestly, same. First thing I used an email for was Facebook. And it wasn't even to like get to know people or anything like that. It was to play the Facebook games. Farmville, peak gaming at the time. Okay, I don't like this. There's a Tetris on Facebook that could work me back then. That could work on me back then. Yeah. So I misread that. I was confused. There was a Monsters game that is a Clash of Clans ripoff. I know the one you're talking about. The one where crap, what was it called? And I think it came before Clash of Clans, or did it come after? Oh, by the way, Ordi, I saw this model with inverse eyes. What do you mean inverse eyes? I think it was before. Crap, what was that game called? You know what? I'm going to search it up. Facebook monster game. Okay, I'm seeing someone is like old Facebook game, 2013 ish. Backyard Monsters. That's the one. Yeah, yeah. Backyard Monsters. Hold on. Let me bring up a picture. I used to love this thing. Hold on. I'm bringing up a picture. Like the iris looks like it's closing, but nothing more. And instead of being a full on eye, it's an iris and does stuff. Ooh, do you have like a picture or video you want to share? Send it to me on Discord. Yeah, this is the game. Backyard Monsters. This takes me back. Also, the way how old this thing looks, I think it came before Clash of Clans. You know what? Let me double check. Release date. Okay, so this thing came out. Release January 2010. Okay. Clash of Clans. 2nd August 2012. Backyard Monsters came out first. Clash of Clans is a Backyard Monsters ripoff, not the other way round. That looks like Warcraft 2. It's one of the. Okay, if you know Clash of Clans gameplay, it is basically the exact same thing. But yeah, this thing came. This thing came first before Clash of Clans. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. Yeah, this is what 15 years ago. This is what peak gaming used to look like. When I was a kid, I loved this. Yeah, I really, really liked it. That was before I knew what good games were. For those who are curious about the difference between a full body model and a mascot one, a mascot model, the eyes are usually like two layers. This one has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. The eye alone probably has more layers than some of the mascots that are made before. As a kid, I loved this, and then I talk about Minecraft and a lot back then. 10 layers just for an eye? Yeah. Honestly, not even the most complex one that I've made. I forgot how much concentration full body models take. But it's okay, I can learn to multitask. It used to be way worse. I think when I started streaming, I could only concentrate on one thing. I don't think I've actually got better at multitasking. I just jumped between the two, and it made it seem like I was. It is so much better. Sorry, he's bald now. A man and bald? Yeah. Usually people pay bits or channel points for that. Here I am giving it away for free. Here today, gone tomorrow. Yeah. I've never been a person who cares too much about my hair. I try, but yeah. I usually cut my hair like once every 4 6 months. Until, okay, this is how I can tell. When it starts getting into my eyes and it's coated in like shampoo, and then I start crying in pain in the shower, that's how I know it's time to cut my hair. Hi, Maxine. Welcome on in. We're talking about the model being bald. I couldn't find it, and I'm sad and will never recover from this loss. Well, if you find any cool things like that, you can just like send it to me. Say Morty. Yeah, it's not good. I do try and keep myself, well maintained. Unfortunately, as someone who is basically a hermit indoor can, I don't need to always have my hair prime and proper. In fact, like I think 90% of the time I'm just in pajamas. That's the dream. One thing I will say, it's useful in the winter. I don't need any of those beanies or hats. Same, Morty. I tie my hair, it goes all the way down to my back. Okay, that is long. Mine is still what you would consider short hair in quotes. It's just yeah, if I hang it down, I think my bangs like reach the bottom of my eye. So it's not like long, long. It's long to me. My hair is like halfway down my back. I want it longer. I didn't realize everyone here had such long hair. Used to in one shampoo cause F my hair. I mean, it is convenient. I do use things like the like shampoo, conditioner, separate ones. You know, keeping it short is my problem. You know what I need? I need to befriend a barber. One who one who's really passionate about like cutting hair and fashion and all that stuff. That way, when they see my hair, they feel so bad. Like it really grinds their gears. They offer to chop it off for me a lot more frequently. Yeah. And barely have a man bun. Already I told you I want to cosplay my Baldur's Gate 3 character. Yeah, well, the thing about growing hair is you just give it time. I have incredibly short hair. My hair doesn't currently touch my neck. Well, if it does, that's what I would consider long. A long short hair, you know. Family friend is a barber, free haircuts. Well, lucky you. Just need to be. Just need to get a flow beam. What's a flow beam? Hmm. Cut and trim your own hair using. How does this work? Ah, honestly, I'm looking at pictures. Hold on, let me show you guys what I'm looking at. Something like that. Hmm. Interesting. It's a self haircut machine that connects to a shop vacuum. Oh, okay. It also, yeah, I imagine that's super useful so hair doesn't get anywhere. I just asked my nan to shave my hair. That's lucky. I watched Boy in a Band have long hair and was like, I want that. You know what? Understandable. The vacuum cleans up the mess. Looks like a vacuum. It is a vacuum. It just has like the hair trimmer on the end. So as soon as the hair is cut, it just gets just sucked into it, apparently. Hmm. You know what? I might invest in one. Honestly, I would get one. Because barbers cost money. There we go. My parents or grandparents bought one back in the 90s. Judging by the look, I thought it was one of those like newer inventions. I'm kind of surprised it's that old. It was one of those sold on TV products. I never really saw a lot of commercials like that. At least they didn't air too much in my home country. Hmm. I'm trying to remember if there's any like funny ones. I'm reminded of that Gravity Falls scene where the guy was a vacuum salesman. It's like a flashback scene. He's like, "Hey, the stand vac is he's trying to sell. He's like introducing the stand vac. It really sucks. You know, a vacuum and all. Should watch them from the 90s and 2000s. They were funny. Yeah, I think I saw like a compilation a really long time ago, but none of them are coming to mind. Maybe I should just be a React streamer. It's a lot easier than art. I feel like I'd be the worst React streamer ever because I'm one of those people who, how would you say this? When I laugh, it's inaudible, it's dead silent. At most, I smile, right? If I get startled, I never scream, I never shout. I don't think I could be loud, gun to my head, right? So, no horror, no comedy. What do I have left? I'll just be staring at the screen. We'll watch it, we'll enjoy, and I'll be like, guys, that was great. You know? Everything was 3 easy payments of 19.99. That's a lot of money to me. Because big surprise, art doesn't pay well. I fortunately do okay, but yeah, ooh, especially recently. Sorry, I forgot to finish that thought. Especially recently, with the whole generative and AI and all that stuff. Until something is done about it. But yeah, I think it kind of sucks to be an illustrator recently. And you talked about this last time. Same with the writer. You know what we need? We need a small robot uprising. Nothing too bad. Something just bad enough that AI becomes outlawed, like globally. Only then can we be united against the robot threat. There's actually a book that not book, but series that I read. Mm, what was it called again? It was by Brandon Sanderson. It's called Skyward. Yeah, apparently AI was banned because they kept becoming self aware and they couldn't explain why. I actually very vaguely remember what the plot was about. Not enough to explain. But yeah, sorry, that was just like a passing thought. I should reread that again if I don't remember. That's what I like. I like watching something, enjoying it, and then years later, I forget everything about it except for the fact that I enjoyed it. So I can enjoy it a second time. You know what I should do? If I ever get amnesia and don't remember like a lot of my childhood, what I need is to play Skyrim again. I actually forget this Anderson counter exists. Lurk BRB. Okay. Hi, Orca. Welcome on in. You know what? We should ask everyone who shows up. Orca, would you ever have a robot husband slash wife? I feel silly. Why? I guess. Traitor to humanity. I get him. I guess. Why not? Hmm. So, Nori, I can be lazy. True. I don't think it's as hopeless as you guys think it is. Honestly, just go outside, meet people. I'm not that attractive. Okay, guys, serious talk. I am friends with people who. I'm friends with people who drop dead gorgeous. Some of them actually do modeling work, right? The creatures they have decided to date, right? Not only do I not think they're attractive, they're also awful people, and those ones still gave them a chance. Don't worry about it. Shoot your shot. I say this with inside knowledge. I wish I could show pictures. I don't want to meet people or arrow ace. You know what? Fair. So women scare me, they beat me, you see, I'm not an evil person, so I won't fight back. Okay, first of all, what kind of people do you hang out with? Don't ask. Honestly, yeah. I wasn't sure if you're doing a bit or not. If it's not, I apologize. I think that's a cultural thing. The US is not a good market, explains why so many people try to bring someone from abroad. Isn't that the whole mail order bride thing? Oh, oops. Basically, I think they call it the 30-day visa nowadays. The concept felt weird. I think this is too wide. It's soon December. I think I started streaming in December. I actually have a few. I have like a couple placeholder emotes. I think it's like the crying one and the keck one. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep these as placeholders, and then when I have time, I'm gonna make emotes later. I'm gonna be proper streamer. It's almost a year now. You know what? We can't have the affiliate anniversary without emotes. I need to be serious. I'm gonna be honest. I like the emotes because I use them in other people's chat. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make note of because I already have like a handful. I'm gonna make note of which emotes do I use, like from other people's communities and stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna make one for me. It's Maria Carey again. Yeah, she started to defrost already. Like the stores you go to now, all Christmas decorations. It's not good. I don't know. I'll live. Christmas is being infected from. Yeah, it started to infect the rest of the year. You know what? Give it a good 200 years. We'll be celebrating Christmas in February. Like you take down the tree January 1st, February already, a month later, everything, all of the shelves in the stores, they're gonna be stocked. When humanity meets alien races that show up, we are gonna be Christmas planet. The Nightmare Before Christmas will come true. I remember a little bit of the animation. I've completely forgotten the plot of the movie. I should give it a rewatch because it's not the kind of movie that I would, watch every Christmas time or anything. I don't have like a tradition like that. Halloween was angry. They only had 1 day, so they took over Christmas. Honestly, I'm fine with that. He is spooked. I wish my eyes go that wide, IRL. When it comes to making like the model's expressions, I keep mine super, super sensitive, right? Like, for example, you see, they move really fast and go all the way to the end real quickly. Because I make it super sensitive, so I don't actually have to be very expressive. Because I have resting bitch face, right? So, in order to make it like on the default settings, right? In order to make it go all the way, I have to make it very sensitive. So, yeah, it makes it easier to control. Should do that? Yeah, it's actually very easy. It takes like two seconds. Just put it all the way to max sensitivity. Well, it's a multiplier that you type in, so there is no max sensitivity. I feel like this should go down. There we are. Can be ADHD sensitive. I don't know what that means. Let me show you what it looks like. Ads are done. Welcome back. I just realized there's a bug here. Anyway, here's an example. Let me put it up on screen. So, like this thing, right? If you want to make it more sensitive, you just increase this number to whatever you want. Basically, 400% speed. Oh, okay, yeah, I understand now. But yeah, the default is 30. This one is so that my face turns like a lot more easily. So I set it to 40, a little bit more sensitive. That's what, plus 33% to sensitivity. But realistically, you just put it as high as you want. In fact, I've never done that. You know what? Let's see. Let me put it at 100 on each side. And yep, let's see 1,000. Yeah, this is 1,000 sensitivity, and default is 30. I'm like something from an Exorcist movie. So yeah, like I said, there is no maximum speed. Should be 40. There we are. Seems like you may be on some sort of illegal substance. Don't worry. I'm very sober, cat. But yeah, I've never done that before. Like, I knew theoretically you could put it as high as you want. I actually thought there'd be like a limit. Like, if you type in 1,000, it'll just go down to like whatever number. I think this is the case in like Live 2D. Like, you put like a crazy high number, it'll just like snap down to like 300 or whatever. But yeah, this one doesn't have a limit. Hmm. The more you know. Well, I think about it. How can people be sober when they never drink alcohol before? Well, sober just means not drunk. So if you've never had alcohol, you're just always sober. You've never not been sober. I think that's a limit, either the size of the int or that long. Well, I'm sure if I just hold down the 9 key for like 10 minutes, probably. But reasonably, yeah, I don't think so. I could probably find out what it is if I search it, but no one has time for that. I think this mouse might be dying on me. Sometimes I do this, it just randomly lets go. I should make the pupil shrink as well. Like if you look at mine, if I go all the way up, this is normal. If I go all the way up, the pupil shrinks a little bit. It gives it a bit more of a surprise look to it. Actually shrinks quite a lot. Oh, well, yeah. Do you like the shrinking effect, or do you prefer it's just like this? Thoughts? You like it like this? So you shouldn't shrink. No shrinking. Oh, you like the shrinking effect. Okay. Guys, this is wonderful. I should rope in more of my clients into Twitch chat. Crap, where's the pupil? Oh, here it is. I return. Welcome back, Maxine. Question of the day. Would you ever have a robot wife slash husband? So I just saw a bit of Tenma stream earlier. Man, 3D models came super far in tank. I've not seen the new one. But yeah, I think even the 2D ones, I don't think it's super obvious, right? But if you compare like the really really early ones compared to now, it's not like the artist got crazy better. It's also the technology improved. No, correct correct answer. We were talking about that earlier. Then I'm like, you know what we should do? We should just like ask everyone who pops in just out of the blue. I think the 2D ones can move super far left or right. Yeah. I tried making one that could go like 90 degrees to the side. It was painful to do. I kind of got it, but it wasn't like a model or anything like that. It was just me practicing. Then I'm like, this is a ton of work. I'm never doing this again. Unless I'm paid for the effort. This is good. Remind me of the bow. I may forget. He's been bald for so long, I kind of forgot what the hair looked like. I will remind you right now. You know, there's a good chance that I will remember as well. But in case I don't, hmm. Okay, I like this. Right now, where's the bow? It's coming. Like I exported the thing. Like before I sent it out as a PSD file to throw into here. I was like, am I forgetting something? I feel like I'm forgetting something. And then I was like, you know what? It's fine. Anything I can always add later. No point in stressing about it. Export the thing. Well, I use Paint Tool Sci. So before I can drop the Sci file here. I need to convert it to a PSD file. And then I can shove it into Live 2D and it becomes a model. So yeah, sorry, that's what I mean by export. Paint Tool Sci has its own file. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, it's .sai. I don't think any other platform or any other app uses it. I think most use just PSD, which I think is pretty standard. But yeah, anyway, it's not the best art app, but I like it. It's the one that I've used, and I'll probably die with it in my arms. So yeah, I don't think I'm changing into another art platform anytime soon. I considered it before, and then a lot of them had, I think, some not so nice business practices. I think some of them started shoving like AI into it, as well as subscription based models. And I was like, you know what? Sai is not perfect, but it doesn't have those problems. Let me just be grateful for what I have. Guess I wanted to be different. I'm not sure why. If I remember correctly, the entire art platform is just like made by one guy. That's why it's like a bit rough around the edges. Looks like GIMP is working for a plugin for Sai. I forgot about GIMP. Even if you say it's just one dude, I don't know if that's still the case because I heard this like ages ago. Like even their website is like a bit you'd think it came from the 90s. No, let me see if I can find it. Here we are. Let me show you guys where I got this from. This is what their website right now, as of 5 seconds ago, looks like. If you ask me to determine what year this was made, I would say like 1990. I'm seeing up here copyright 1996. So they probably made it once and they were like, yeah, good enough. But hey, it works. I am a I'm a strong what's the word? I'm a strong supporter of good enough. 450 megahertz processor was common when I was in high school. Ew, this must be very old. I think they made it for like really old computers. And yeah. I do remember a time, hold on, I'm in the way. On my old computer, actually, let me get this out of the way as well. Down here, you see like memory usage, drive usage. One time I was working on a full body model. Actually, I think it was your model, James. I think I maxed out like the capabilities of my old computer. Everything was just on like 100%. And if I clicked Control Z, everything would freeze for like a good 30 seconds. Those were the days, you know? Anyway, I'm really happy with my new computer. Lag has never been a problem. The program may not work in the future, by the way, since Windows is phasing out support for 32-bit applications. Well, if they want my pain tool Sai, they will have to pry it from my cold dead hands. Maybe I shouldn't be so change averse. You know what? I'll add it to my to-do list. You know, I've not touched this in ages. Hmm. One of them is fix eye bags. I've already done that. There we go. What else? What was I doing again? Right. Check out GIMP art software. So just reminding myself of stuff. It'll probably come in a Windows update, so it could just happen one day. Hmm. This concerns me. Okay, my old computer wouldn't have been updated. So in case of emergency, right? What I can do is I could probably just convert all the sci files into PSD files and then continue working on them with God knows whatever software. Ooh, there's something I want to try with this model. Um, I'm sorry, my brain lagged for a second. I saw a model where, what's it called? The ears. You know, like how the ears go down and up. Sorry, mine don't do that. But some of them, they follow like the expressions. So before it used to be like the eyes, right? So if the eyes open wide, like the ears would like perk up, and then if they like if you look kind of frowny, right, they'll go down like droopy. I saw one where they didn't connect it to like the eyes or the mouth or expressions. They connected it to the eyebrows. So I was like, interesting. So yeah, I want to try that with this one. It should make it like a lot more expressive. Like if you go like the eyes will go, sorry, not the eyes, the ears will like perk up, but if you go like, it'll like droop down. So yeah, I want to try that. See if it's better. It should give you more control over the thing, but I don't know. It's an experiment. Worst case scenario, we can always use the old reliable method. And yeah, I don't think most people would even notice a difference, but I would notice. I am the artist. I pay close attention to every little pixel. In fact, that used to be a problem of mine. Like you'll see me doing art, I'll be zoomed in like this. I'll be fixing the pixels one by one. So now I have to like kind of slap myself on the wrist and be like, no. I zoom out like this. If I do not notice it from here, I do not fix it. Actually, it looks like they're just phasing out 32-bit ARM support for now. For now. Thought Windows 11 strip didn't support 32-bit. No, I still think they do. No, never mind. Paint Tool Sai is 64-bit. Ah, thank God. You know what? It'll never die. It'll live forever in my heart, as well as on my PC. We have nothing to fear, guys. I'm a sucker for detail myself, even though I don't do art. You know what the problem is? If you end up focusing like this, you end up missing the big details, right? I learned this from Japanese art sensei. Like one YouTube channel that I keep like sharing. So one of the things, one of the lessons he talked about was like, hey, don't do art like this. Doing art like this, very bad, because your audience will never see it like this. He's an illustrator, right? So he's talking about illustrations mostly, but it does apply to other stuff. So it's like your audience will be viewing it from this far away, and they'll be viewing it on like maybe a phone, so it'll be even smaller. If it doesn't look nice like this, then that's what you should be concerned about. No one is gonna zoom in like this and be like, this is not aligned perfectly. I'm not gonna like this picture, you know? He said most people will see it like this and be like, "Oh, that's pretty cute," and then move on. So yeah, it's like don't fixate on the details. Also, I'm glad the hair is symmetrical, which means I only need to rig it halfway and then copy it over. Like for example, this is an illusion. This is all just one piece, right? This is all one layer. It's just a placeholder. The rest, however, are separated here, so I can just rig them and then flip them over. Saves you a ton of work. I used to not do that in the early days. I'd always just rig both sides manually until I knew you could flip them, right? But I was just like very resistant to doing it. I'm like, nah, I'd rather just do it manually. And then my models got more and more complex, and then the amount of work that goes into blinking one eye increased, and I was like, okay, let me try flipping it, and my life was forever changed. Now I love symmetrical models. Okay, I think this eye is done. should be on a deformer. What default expressions do you try to incorporate? If they don't ask for specific expressions, there's the usual happy, sad, yeah, neutral, happy, sad, angry, and scared, and evil. And hi, Kiyoshi, welcome on in. This one actually has the scared eyes. These ones. So yeah, I'll be adding them later. Hi, I've been looking because I'm doing some homework as I watch. Yeah, it's okay. There's no obligation to yap here. Don't worry, I do enough yapping for everyone here in the stream, so it's okay. It's quite comical, feels like something out of an anime. Oh yeah, I did it for one model, and then I realized, oh, this is pretty nice. And then I think another person had asked for it. And then I tried to recreate like the eye a second time. I was like, okay, this is a lot of work. Let me just copy it from the old model. So I copy pasted it in. I was like, oh, okay, this saved me a ton of work. And then later on, I'm like, what if I just have a file that's common mascot assets? So it's like the evil eyes, the angry symbol, everything, right? So we have this thing as well. Ooh, let me show you guys how, yeah, this is what I do. And let's see. You do have a great yapping voice. Thanks, Maya. Welcome on in. What is it called again? Crap, I misspelled it. Hold on, you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Sorry, I forget how to spell. There we are. Okay, so angry is like this. Pretend you don't see the eyes at the back. Yeah, angry is like this. I actually want to add like a little black line here. I think I have it for mine. Which expression was it? So this one? No. No, I think I removed it. It was basically this, but with like pale models. It doesn't look too nice because this is white and this one kind of blends in really well. So yeah, I'll add in the line here. I can do that later. But yeah, that's usually what I do for mascots. Let's see. Do I have an example? Just one that I made recently. Well, here's one. I made this recently, but I don't think I showed it on stream. No, this one doesn't have the scared one. Yeah, because the eyes already like that. This is not a good example. I'm just scrolling through all of my models. Shouldn't have the standard expressions. I think this one did. Yeah, this little bubble. So this is angry. It's like this is a shocked one. This is angry. And I think this is evil. This is just the angry eyes, but with a smile. So yeah, those are the expressions that I just throw in for free. I'm trying to learn how to do 2D and 3D, but I'm more used to 3D right now. Oh, if you ever have any questions for Live 2D, feel free to ask. I'm happy to help. If not live here, I do have a Discord. No obligation to join, but which reminded me, I have a redeem. It's called Ordi Teaches Live 2D. Apparently, I always offer to help the same way. I don't think I'm that enthusiastic about teaching people Live 2D, but it did make me laugh though. Right, I was doing the pupil thing. Sorry, I got distracted. How do I arrange these? Okay, okay. I got it. I got it. Mm. So I'm just talking to myself. What I wanted is a deformer so that when the eye closes, it kind of goes down a little bit. I think it's too much. But yeah, I saw someone talking about it. Apparently, if you don't do that, it looks like the eye is like rolling up in the head. You see, it looks like it's going up, like they're looking up like this, you know? So yeah, I try to add that. This one. I was just thinking of like how to arrange it because if you see over here, like the order you make them in is also kind of important. Because this one I want to make it for the physics as well. Anyway, that's like a lot of technical knowledge which no one will understand and care. So it's okay. I won't get into that. But yeah, sorry. I was just thinking of like, should I put this below or above for reasons? But yeah, there we are. I need to know more people who do live 2D so I can yap about it. They'll understand. Order how it's supposed to go. Let me show you an example. Let me just rig it real quick. See, this is our physics deformer. The eye squish. Okay, hold on. I'll just shove it here. This is not how it's going to be. I'm just quickly shoving something together. So I have something to show you. And then say this is pupil. Okay. So when you have your eye physics, it bounces like this, right? for example. And if we order it like this, you see the x and y movement is above the physics one. If the eye is like this, if the eye is like this, right? No matter where it deforms the same way, right? But what if we switch the order? And now it is the XY movement and then the physics. So if it's in the same position, it deforms normally, no problem. But what if you move to the side and then you start deforming? It breaks. So yeah, that's why it's like important to have like the correct order. So I was thinking about it. I was like, how do I do this? But yeah. Anyway, that's not exactly how I do physics, but that's like the best example of like importance of order. I've never rigged for VTuber specifically, but I've rigged 3D models in the past. Ah. What kind of stuff have you rigged? I think it's deform first, then X and Y. Yeah, it doesn't actually matter which one you do first. So long as over here, it's like these ones are like, sorry, the chat's in the way. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. So it should be art and then physics and then movement. Right. I use blend shape, so this is movement and physics kind of mixed into one. But yeah, so what you'd want is physics and then movement on top of it. That way, when it moves the physics deformer as well. So yeah, just like the skeleton and blend shapes of a 3D model, labeling is so important. I suppose, like a lot of the stuff you use in 3D models does apply in Live 2D. So if you know one, switching to another one shouldn't be too difficult. Of course, it's not the same, but there are a couple of things that are relevant and be like, oh, okay, I know this from that other thing. So yeah. I don't know if this is correct, but we'll see. Hold on. Because we're only changing the size and position with this break. Nope, it's fine. Word for a second. I usually use Maya. Is that software or? I'm actually not too familiar with 3D modeling. There was a time before I made my first live 2D model. I feel like if I saw a 3D VTuber before I saw a 2D one, there's a very good chance I would have just learned 3D instead. So in an alternate universe, there is There is an Ordi that is doing 3D art and not 2D. Honestly, it was like a coin flip. I considered doing both, but I'm like, I could either be okay in both of them, or I can be pretty good at one of them. So I was like, let me just stick to one. Maybe in the future, I'll learn a bit of 3D. But for now, I think I'm okay with 2D. Although there is one thing I want to use 3D for. Do you see these little goobers down here? Yeah, I want to make a. What's it called? I want to make a 3D model of them and then have them on Warudo, kind of like what Feather does, right? Simply because that one, I think you can do a lot more with them. Like you can program a lot of your own stuff. Streaming avatars, I'm not too sure. I think you can if you like take it apart, but that seems like a lot of work. Warudo seems very intuitive. So I was like, maybe I'll give that a try. Okay, the size done. Am I missing something? Yeah, Maya is a software that's normally used for animating models in games and animations. I think the only one I'm familiar with is Blender. This eye is not complete. I need to do the lashes. Blender is the non-paywall option that's sweeping the nation. Is Blender free? But I don't know how to use Blender yet. I'm stuck with the ancient tag. Were you here for my whole I will never give up paint tool sigh, even though it's not like the best software for art? It's mine. Cause if so, you know I understand. Yeah, so I get it, don't worry. Cause I think I learned to use paint tool sigh, and then what's it called? So no, I wouldn't have a robot significant other. Correct answer. I feel like we should ask this so we know who will betray humanity when the time comes. They'll say it's for like love and all of that stuff, but you just know they've been brainwashed by the androids and they cannot be trusted. We've all seen the movies. Except they won't be the protagonist. They will actually be tricking the. They'll be tricked into helping the robots. We gotta find the dissenters before they know they will betray us. This is the way. Guys, vote me for your next dictator during next election season. I'll vote so I can get free cookies daily. Yeah, free cookies to all who vote for me. Imprisonment for those who don't. It's not a hard choice. Don't think too much about it. Cookies, prison. Oh, I just remembered something horrible happened today. I was supposed to play Baldur's Gate with some friends of mine, but as soon as we launched it, uh, a second friend joined in. Is like, "Hey, I can't join you guys because it says running different version." Turns out an update had dropped after me and a friend of mine started the game, but before a third friend joined. So I was like, "Okay, we'll just close ours, we'll update it, and then we can all play." So that's what I did, except after I updated it, the game wouldn't work. It'll start loading and then it kept crashing. And you need to understand something. Baldur's Gate has been my nicotine patch because for the last month or so, we've not had D&D, right? Scheduling conflicts. So it has been a while. Uh, the withdrawal is getting to me. I need my dice. I need my shenanigans. I need my war crimes. I am a simple cat. See, I think we spent like an hour trying to fix it. In the end, it didn't work. So I just cried about it. I'm the scheduling conflict for my D&D group. I had to drop the campaign so they could continue without me. Ah, that's unfortunate. Honestly, this is the system that I have. Hold on. Say we are a party of 5, right? I am DM. If this is the party, right? If one player can't make it, I'm like, okay, this person can't make it. They just evaporate. They disappear. I delete the token from the map. Everyone continues the campaign as normal, right? When that person comes back, I just plop the character back in. I'm like, okay, no one think about it. They're just here. If you try to poke holes and be like, oh, where were you? We didn't see you in this fight, and try to poke holes in the person disappearing. I strike you with lightning. Don't poke at it. So yeah, Works beautifully. That way, if one person can make it, the game goes on. And yeah, the only time we stop, we like cancel the session or like reschedule is if like two, for example, I think we're, how many are we? We're six. If like two or three people can make it, only then do we go like, okay, let's reschedule. But if like one person can make it, yeah, we just proceed. I find that's the best way to go. Otherwise, if you wait for like every single person to be available, then yeah. Biggest issue was the campaign arc. We were heavily involved in my character, so I was missing most of my own backstory. Honestly, I would still proceed anyway. I used to have that problem. What I ended up doing was the campaign was no longer revolving around one person because it is a cool concept. But if that person doesn't show up, then like, what do you do? You know? That was just my solution because like I was at the DM of the table, and a lot of these are friends who've never played D&D before I roped them into it. In fact, I had never played D&D before I roped them into it. So I was like, how do we make this better? Like, what can we do here? So yeah, and that's the system I made, and in the end, people didn't like mind because like if one person can make it, doesn't make it, they'll feel so guilty about holding everyone back. That's weird. Huh. My DM was using our group as a test for another groups too, so it's sort of complicated. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Crossover episode and all. I don't think I could do one of that because I've had multiple campaigns, but basically just one D&D group. Because we've been playing for like 4+ years. As soon as we finish a campaign, we just start a new one. A couple people have like joined from the initial group, and a couple people left because time zones and all. But yeah, relatively same group of people from day one. Yeah, I think any of the newcomers came. I think within like the first 6 months. Hmm. Forever DM of 4+. You know what? I can't say that anymore. I have shed the shackles. I am free. I am a player now. One of my friends decided to DM, and yeah, I had like a handful of sessions where I was the player. It's a beautiful experience. I feel like if you do dumb shit as the DM, people are like, oh, okay, he's doing this because it's relevant to the plot. But if you do it as a player, it's far more satisfying because you don't have plot armor. Whatever you do. I think that's what I'm enjoying most of all. Because my goal as a player is, I think I'm a druid who's in like a death cult. So they're like, oh, down with civilization. We should all return to nature. Like there's too many humans on this world. We need a plague, and then I go and start a plague, right? That's the kind of druid that I play, and it's kind of fun to go like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. What? And I'm talking to the DM. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. However you wanna take it. It could be ineffective and nothing happens. Healers remove the disease before it spreads, or if it destroys entire kingdoms, Completely up to you. You don't have to tell me. I'll just be along for the ride. Just here's a heads up if you want to like prepare in advance. So yeah, I've been spreading. I've been going around to villages every time we pass through, and they give us a quest. I wait till my party leaves, and I go to the leader, and I go, "Hey, I think some people might be getting sick here. I have seen some signs of plague, but I could be wrong. Fingers crossed. It's nothing but the cold. But if you see more and more people getting sick, do let me know. I might be able to help." And then while they're confused, I leave. I go to the tavern and I just infect as many people as possible. And then we go do the quest. By the time I come back, usually a few people get sick. I do some faith healing. They're impressed by the powers of nature, and we have new recruits. I am not playing a good character, by the way. Uh, the players have caught on. They're like, oh, they're a monster, but their characters do not know. Sounds silly and fun. It is. I even told my DM, I'm like, hey, I am not okay. I love this character. It's fun and all, but if I do dumb shit, don't feel like you have to protect them. Kill them if you have to. It's all good. I have more characters. Like for example, there was a dramatic scene where we're on one side of the river and the BBEG's on the other side. And he's giving his like monologue speech, like we see him, and before he starts talking, and he's like the very polite, like smiles at you, gives you his polite monologue, and then turns his back and leaves as his minions rip into you. So he was like on the other side of the river, and I play my character as if they do not know that person is evil. So I'm like, oh, it's this person. We know that guy. As before he even starts the speech, immediately I'm like wading across the river to go like say hi and greet him. And I always hand out like pamphlets, which kind of like propaganda posters. So as soon as we see that guy, before he like goes off on his monologue, um, I'm like, oh, my character starts waving excitedly and screaming hello so they can hear us from far away. And I immediately start approaching. As soon as I go, I'm like, hello, friend. It's nice to see you. And I start handing them the brochures and propaganda. I'm like, hey, if you have any friends or family, do hand this out to them, right? And the whole time I'm thinking, I'm just waiting for the day my DM friend just chooses violence instead of passive aggressive politeness from the BBEG. My character will not survive long. At this point, I'm just seeing how much time I can buy them. But yeah, I like dumb shit like that. That's how I love to play D&D. Not derail the game, but do unexpected stuff. Yeah, I like to play the comedic relief. But I do understand like they do dumb shit that is dangerous. So I always have to accept that hey, this character could die. There's a cursed object that's shining. Ooh, I wonder what this is. Immediately pick it up. Do not make a check. Life is more interesting that way. Sorry, we talked about D&D, and zero progress was made for a while. Welcome to my stream, everyone. We do everything except actual art. Sorry for distracting you. Sounds like a Chaos Gremlin vibe of character. Exactly. Oh, and by the way, you're not like distracting anything. Um, if no one distracts me, I will distract myself. What's up with this thing? My bad. Sorry, I toggled the deformers to be invisible, so I was wondering why I couldn't see it. Oopsie. I love playing gremlin chaotic characters. They're just fun. That is why every campaign that I host, there's always fake creatures. And a dumb bit that I like to do, is in the world, there's pixies and there's sprites. They are 100% identical, right? You cannot tell them apart. You can look, you can do whatever check you want. They are they are by all means the exact same creature. The only difference is if you call a sprite a pixie, you might as well have spat on the graves of like their parents. They will be that offended, and vice versa. Now, the thing I like to do is whenever I make any of those characters, I never note down if they're a sprite or if they're a pixie. Oh crap, we have ants. Well, I never note down if they're a sprite or if they're a pixie until someone calls them one of the two, and no matter which one they call, they're always the other. I call them Schrodinger's Fae, right? So they will always see the creature, and I always tell the party, I'm like, hey, this is, you see the Fae creature do this, this, this. If they call it a sprite, they get offended and say, I am a pixie. If they call them a pixie, vice versa. And yeah, they have created a lot of enemies like that. And those creatures are harmless, in a sense. They will always perform pranks, but not like outright try to kill you, you know? I think that's funnier. Like, for example, offend one like that, they'll be like, you know what, it's okay. You're ignorant, I forgive you. Give you a give you a pat on the back. It's about Schrodinger. You know the experiment Schrodinger's cat? So it's a way of explaining quantum mechanics. I don't think I could do a good job of explaining it. Just type Schrodinger's cat and read up about it. But yeah, it's one of those experiments where they try to explain that something exists in two states. Like it's both options until what's it called? Until you observe it. Like you don't know what the answer is unless you look at it. Oh, it's a very old experiment. I think the experiment is like, hey, I'm gonna put a cat in a box, right? And I have this vial of poison that can be released at any moment. And he closes the box. It's like, okay, you don't know if the cat is alive or not. The only way to tell is if you open the box. So until you open the box, the cat is both assumed to be alive and dead, you know? I think it's to explain, what is it? Superposition? Anyway, I'm not smart enough to explain quantum mechanics here, but if you're interested, there's a lot of resources out there explaining the concept. Yeah, I wish I could like boil it down super easily, but yeah, I can't. I don't know how. Ads are done. Welcome back. Sorry, we were interrupted. So basically, that's what I like doing with all the fake creatures. Sprites and pixies, one and the same creature, until someone calls them one or the other. Turns out they were the other all along. Call it a sprite, they were a pixie all along. Call it a pixie, they were a sprite all along. And I do that simply because I want an excuse for a pixie to not like them. And as soon as that happens, yeah, I get to play a pixie that does a lot of pranks. Or sprite, whichever. I don't know if my cat is alive or not, but they have a really good nap. I have to shake them. Yeah. I wish I could be that relaxed, you know? I like doing that. I send pictures of one of the cats sleeping, like in super deep sleep, and I send it to my friends. I'm like, I pray that one day, I will be this relaxed in life. You know. Speaking of cats, I think Wally's a bad influence on Julian. She now likes to run around and pounce on the other house cats. She learned this from Wally. Wally would do that, and it's very annoying to like the other cats. But I saw the other day that Julian did, and she has never done anything like that before. I'm like, my child has hung around a ruffian for far too long. She has learned bad manners. But it's okay. They're just playing. How? What's that for? Brick? Well, I see my cat is not the only one who has lost their manners. You just go around throwing bricks at people. People meaning only you? I am people. Kinda. We don't need to get all technical about it. Our cats people. Legally, no. Emotionally, yes. See if this works. No, same problem. I've done lashes before. How did I do it last time? I'll have to check. Oh no, wait, I think I remember now. It's a lot of work. Should I do it now or save it for next time? Yeah, I'll do it next time. It's only 2 hours, but we are calling it here today.